For Inside Carolina, I'm Taylor Vippolis, and this is the Insider Rundown where I'll cover what I'm hearing when it comes to this UNC football team. My first thought after watching Monday's press conferences from Coach Brown and the coordinators was, man, I am glad I am not in that building right now. Don't let the media-savvy head coach fool you. I could say most assuredly that Brown still has what it takes to get after the coaches and did just that after Carolina's loss at Georgia Tech with the team drastically underperforming. The frustration stems from being in year 3 and it's the same mistakes plaguing the program over and over again. It's not even like you can point fingers at just one position group when it's been everybody that's contributed to the struggles. You have offensive linemen that trot out there with poor technique. You have wide receivers that can't concentrate long enough to complete the process of a catch. You have a quarterback that struggles with his progressions and holds the ball too long. And you have a defense that can't stay in its gap assignments and then takes poor angles, resulting in missed tackles. It's up to the players to execute a game plan, but when it's the same problems rising to the surface, Brown knows that the blame begins to shift to the coaches, and he's been mostly critical of his staff this week. In Monday's press conference, he said, quote, "If we can't drop back and pass against a certain player, then don't put our player in a position to try to block somebody he can't block. Move the quarterback, chip him with a back, get the tight end involved. But don't just keep making the same mistakes," unquote. It's no secret that Brown wants to see schematic changes that puts his players in the best spots for success. On a similar note, I've seen fans clamoring for a youth movement on defense specifically, and I'm told that UNC is running into a catch-22 situation where they feel as if the younger guys aren't ready, but eventually when they do play, they don't have the experience to perform at a high level. The coaching staff's stance is that they're going to play who they think gives them the best chance to win, not thinking about the future. And I do tend to agree with that line of thinking because the players are working too hard to not put the best product out on the field. The question becomes, how do you close the gap between your veteran leaders and the younger players waiting for an opportunity? When asked, sources in the program will tell you that Jeremiah Gemmel is the most irreplaceable player on the Carolina defense, and the numbers back that up with him playing every snap over the weekend while turning in a team-high grade according to Pro Football Focus. Yet the concern becomes that you're kicking the can down the road by not showing the confidence in players like Ra-Ra Dilworth or Power Echols to get them any meaningful snaps. They've been here since the spring, which means that if they're doing their part, the thought there is that the system is either too complex or you don't have the right people in place to get them up to speed and on the field. It's a house of cards defense if you're saying the gap between your starters and reserves is that wide where it all come falling down without just one piece. Issues that will need to be resolved. That's the rundown for this week. Stay tuned to Inside Carolina for more football coverage in the lead up to Saturday's game against Duke back in Kenan Stadium in the battle for the Victory Bell.